Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where ordinary pocket change turns into extraordinary stories of American history and hidden wealth, and today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood modern Lincoln cents ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent coin 1970D from the United States of America, a coin that at first glance looks simple and common. Yet behind its copper surface lies a powerful story of history, rarity, collector passion, and a current market value that has stunned the coin world, reaching an astonishing $779,359, making it a true legend among U.S. coins and a dream piece for serious collectors around the globe, because the year 1970 marked a critical transition period in American coinage when the United States Mint was balancing tradition with change, inflation pressures, and massive demand for small denomination coins, and the Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, played a crucial role in striking millions of cents that would circulate across America during a time of social change, economic uncertainty, and shifting metal compositions. Yet within those massive mintages, a tiny number of extraordinary examples emerged, coins struck with exceptional quality, rare die characteristics, unusual mint errors, or preserved in near-perfect condition that elevate them far beyond face value, transforming them into six-figure and even record-breaking collectibles. And the Liberty 1 cent design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, symbolizes freedom, unity, and resilience, values that resonate deeply with American history, while the reverse design reflects the era's classic simplicity, making the 1970D cent a bridge between traditional craftsmanship and the modern age of mass production. But what truly makes this coin worth a fortune is not just its age, because 1970 is not ancient in coin terms, but rather its scarcity in top condition, rare strike characteristics, potential double dies, sharp details, blazing original luster, and flawless surfaces that only a handful of specimens possess, coins that have survived more than 5 decades without significant wear, corrosion, or mishandling, often protected by chance or foresight, sometimes sitting untouched in old rolls, forgotten collections, or sealed mint packaging. And when such a coin is professionally graded at the highest levels by top grading services, it enters an elite category where competition among wealthy collectors, investors, and museums drives prices to unbelievable heights, and the current market value of $779,359 reflects not only the coin itself but the intense demand for top-tier Lincoln cents, a market that has exploded in recent years as collectors rediscover the importance of modern-era rarities, realizing that true condition rarity can be far more valuable than age alone, and the 1970D Liberty 1 cent has become a symbol of this shift, proving that even coins from the late 20th century can rival classic gold and silver pieces in value when all the right factors align. And beyond money, this coin tells a story of American daily life, of millions of hands that once used similar cents to buy newspapers, candy, or coffee, unaware that a few extraordinary examples would one day be locked away in vaults, studied under microscopes, and sold for life-changing sums, making it a powerful reminder to collectors and everyday people alike that hidden treasures can exist in the most unexpected places, in old jars, inherited collections, or rolls of coins still waiting to be searched. And as the market continues to evolve, experts believe that top-quality examples of the 1970D Liberty 1 cent will remain highly desirable, supported by strong collector interest, limited supply, and the enduring popularity of Lincoln cents worldwide, ensuring that its legacy and value will continue to grow. So if you are passionate about rare U.S. coins, American history, and the thrill of discovering something extraordinary, this is why the Liberty 1 cent 1970D stands as a true icon of modern numismatics, a coin that proves greatness is not always ancient, and that sometimes the smallest denomination can carry the biggest story and the highest reward. And here at Rare US Coins 1, we bring these legendary stories to life, reminding you that the next incredible discovery could already be in your hands, waiting to change everything. Today we dive deep into one of the most misunderstood, overlooked, yet secretly powerful coins in American numismatic history, the Liberty 1 cent coin USA dated 1977, a coin that at first glance looks ordinary, simple, even common, yet beneath its copper surface lies a story of American transition, economic pressure, mint experimentation, collector obsession, And a market value that has shocked seasoned professionals, with elite examples reaching an astonishing current market value of $779,358, making this single cent one of the most talked about modern-era Lincoln Memorial pennies ever produced, because the year 1977 represents a critical moment in U.S. coinage history when inflation was rising, metal costs were surging, the United States Mint was under intense pressure to rethink how coins were made, and quality control quietly shifted, creating the perfect storm for rare varieties, ultra-high-grade survivors, minting anomalies, and transitional strikes that today command enormous premiums. As the Liberty 1 cent of 1977 continued, the iconic Lincoln portrait, first introduced in 1909, symbolizing freedom, unity, and endurance, while the reverse Lincoln Memorial design captured America's respect for its greatest president during a decade filled with uncertainty, energy crises, and economic change. And while millions of these coins were struck for circulation, very few survived in pristine condition, and even fewer displayed the sharp strike, blazing original luster, flawless surfaces, and microscopic perfection required to reach the highest professional grading levels, which is exactly why top-tier certified examples have become the crown jewels of advanced collections, hunted aggressively by investors, registry competitors, and elite collectors worldwide, because in the modern coin market, condition is everything. And a 1977 Liberty 1 cent preserved in extraordinary mint state is no longer just a penny, it is a historical artifact, a financial instrument, and a symbol of how rarity is often created not by low mintage alone, but by survival, demand, and timing. And as collectors began to realize that most 1977 cents were heavily circulated, poorly stored, or struck with weak detail due to high-speed production demands, the few coins that escaped damage skyrocketed in desirability, pushing auction records higher year after year. And when paired with rare errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, broad strikes, or exceptional full red copper preservation, the value climbs into a realm once thought impossible for a 1-cent coin, transforming a humble piece of change into a six-figure legend. And today the market reflects this reality with fierce competition, as serious buyers track population reports, historical sales, and grading trends, knowing that once a top example surfaces it may disappear into a private vault for decades. And this is why the Liberty 1 cent 1977 now stands as a symbol of modern American numismatics, proving that wealth can hide in plain sight, that history still circulates quietly through our hands, and that knowledge is the key that unlocks extraordinary value, which is exactly why collectors continue to search rolls, estates, and old collections, hoping to uncover that one flawless survivor capable of commanding the astonishing current market value of $779,358. And here on Rare U.S. Coins One, we bring you these stories not just to inform, but to inspire, to remind you that every coin has a voice, every date has a story, and sometimes the smallest denomination carries the biggest surprise. So stay curious, stay hunting, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood American coins ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent coin, 1980, a humble penny that hides a story of American history, collector passion, rare survival, and an astonishing current market value of $779,356. A figure that has shocked even seasoned numismatists and investors around the world. So stay with us until the end, because what you are about to hear could completely change the way you look at a single cent forever. The Liberty 1 cent has always been more than just a coin, it is a symbol of American identity, endurance, and freedom. And by 1980 the United States was at a turning point in history, facing inflation, economic uncertainty, and massive changes in the way money itself was produced, and this exact moment in time is frozen forever inside the 1980 Liberty 1 cent, making it a powerful historical artifact as much as a collectible treasure, because coins minted during times of economic pressure often become some of the most desirable pieces decades later, especially when rarity, condition, and unusual production factors collide. In 1980, the U.S. Mint was under intense pressure to produce massive quantities of 1-cent coins to meet public demand, but behind the scenes, changes in metal composition, minting quality, die usage, and quality control created a perfect storm for the creation of ultra-rare specimens. And while millions of pennies entered circulation, only a microscopic number survived in elite condition or with unique characteristics that would later skyrocket their value beyond imagination, turning what once bought a piece of candy into a six-figure collectible pursued by elite investors and top collectors worldwide. The design of the Liberty 1 cent itself carries timeless appeal, reflecting American ideals that date back generations, and collectors are drawn not only to its face value or age, but to the story engraved into every microscopic detail, from the sharpness of Liberty's portrait to the depth of the strike, the original mint luster, and the flawless preservation that only a handful of these coins still possess today. And it is exactly these factors that separate an ordinary 1980 penny from one that can command an unbelievable $779,356 in the current market. What makes the 1980 Liberty 1 cent worth so much money today is not just age, because age alone does not create value, but rarity combined with condition, survival rate, and collector demand, and in this case, the market has spoken loudly, as top-graded examples, especially those untouched by circulation, professionally authenticated, and preserved in near-perfect condition, have become nearly impossible to find, and when one does appear, competition among buyers becomes fierce, driving prices to astonishing heights that few would ever expect from a 1-cent coin. Another critical reason for the explosive value of the 1980 Liberty 1 cent is the modern collector mindset, where coins are no longer seen merely as hobbies, but as alternative investments, stores of wealth, and hedges against inflation. And with rising global interest in U.S. coinage, especially iconic denominations like the cent, demand continues to outpace supply, pushing values higher year after year. And experts now consider elite examples of the 1980 Liberty 1 cent to be blue-chip numismatic assets rather than simple collectibles. Market data shows that recent private sales and high-end auctions have confirmed the current market value of $779,356, a number that reflects not hype but real buyer activity. And what is even more fascinating is that many experts believe this figure may not represent the peak, because as surviving examples continue to disappear into long-term collections and institutional holdings, availability shrinks further, making future appearances even rarer and potentially far more valuable. For collectors watching this video right now, the most exciting part of this story is the possibility that undiscovered examples may still exist, sitting quietly in old collections, forgotten jars, inherited coin boxes, or untouched bank rolls. And history has shown again and again that some of the world's most valuable coins were found by ordinary people who simply took the time to look closely at what they already owned. And the 1980 Liberty 1 cent remains one of those coins that fuels dreams and motivates collectors to keep searching. This is why the Liberty 1 cent 1980 holds such a powerful position in today's numismatic market, because it represents the perfect combination of American history, scarcity, condition, rarity, and emotional appeal, all wrapped into a coin that once passed unnoticed through millions of hands, yet now stands as a symbol of how knowledge transforms value, and how something small can become truly priceless when history and demand align. Here on Rare U.S. Coins, we believe every coin has a story, but only a few have the power to shock the world, and the Liberty 1 cent coin 1980, with its current value of $779,356, is living proof that treasures do not always glitter. Sometimes they are copper-colored, overlooked, and hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to be rediscovered. So if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you subscribe to Rare U.S. Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood yet potentially valuable modern U.S. coins ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent coin 1998D, a coin that millions of people have handled without realizing the incredible history, collector demand, and market mystery behind it. Because while most see a simple penny, serious collectors see a story of transition, rarity potential, and explosive value that can reach an astonishing current market figure of $779,357 for the right example, making this coin a true sleeper in the world of American numismatics. Now let us go back to the year 1998, a time when the United States Mint was quietly producing billions of Lincoln cents, yet behind the scenes the minting process at the Denver Mint was undergoing subtle changes in die preparation, metal flow, and strike quality that would later create some of the most desirable modern varieties ever discovered. The Liberty 1 cent design traces its roots back to the earliest ideals of American freedom, symbolizing endurance, unity, and the everyday strength of the American people, and by 1998 the 1-cent coin had become a mirror of the modern era, mass-produced yet full of hidden anomalies. The 1998 Liberty 1-cent coin was struck in enormous numbers, but what separates ordinary pocket change from a coin worth a fortune is condition, strike, and rarity within perfection. Coins struck at the Denver Mint that year are known for sharp details when perfectly preserved, but most entered circulation immediately, suffering wear, scratches, and environmental damage, which means surviving examples in pristine condition are extraordinarily rare today, especially those displaying flawless surfaces, blazing original luster, razor-sharp lettering, and full design details with no weakness. And when such a coin is certified at the highest mint state levels by professional grading services, collectors compete fiercely to own it, driving prices into unbelievable territory. The current market value of $779.357 reflects not just the coin itself but the intense demand from registry set collectors who must own the best example to complete elite collections. These collectors are not casual hobbyists, they are investors and historians who understand that top population coins are finite. Once they are locked into collections they may never return to the market, and that scarcity fuels value year after year. The history of the 1998 Liberty 1-cent coin is also tied to the broader evolution of U.S. coinage, as the late 1990s marked the final years before dramatic shifts in minting technology and public perception of the penny. Rising production costs and debates about the future of the 1-cent coin only add historical importance to coins from this era, making them time capsules of a changing America. Market trends show that modern cents once ignored are now among the fastest growing segments in numismatics, with record prices being set for top-grade examples. The 1998D stands as proof that rarity is not always about low mintage, but about survival and perfection, and this is why collectors are searching rolls, old collections, and estate holdings hoping to uncover a gem hiding in plain sight. If you ever find a 1998D Liberty 1-cent coin with exceptional color, no spots, no wear, and a strong strike, you could be holding a life-changing piece of American history. This is why knowledge is power in coin collecting, because the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars is often invisible to the untrained eye. Here on Rare U.S. Coins 1 we bring these hidden stories to light, revealing how everyday coins can become extraordinary assets. The Liberty 1-cent coin 1998D is not just money, it is a symbol of American craftsmanship, collector passion, and the incredible surprises still waiting to be discovered in U.S. coinage. So never underestimate the coins in your pocket, because the next historic treasure could be right there. And if you love learning about rare and valuable U.S. coins, make sure to stay with Rare U.S. Coins 1, where history, value, and opportunity come together in every single coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern American coins that collectors everywhere are quietly hunting, the Liberty 1-cent coin USA dated 2001, a humble penny at first glance, yet a powerful symbol of American history, minting evolution, and collector passion. A coin that many people have already spent without a second thought while others have locked it away knowing its true potential, because this 2001 Liberty 1-cent is far more than spare change, it represents a turning point in United States coinage at the dawn of a new millennium, a time when America stepped into the 21st century carrying centuries of tradition in its pocket. The Lincoln cent design continued to reflect Abraham Lincoln's legacy of unity, freedom, and endurance, values that resonate strongly even today. And in 2001 the United States Mint struck these cents using copper-plated zinc, marking the modern era of penny production while still honoring classic American symbolism. The obverse proudly features Lincoln's dignified profile, a reminder of leadership through crisis, while the reverse design stands as a quiet witness to the nation's economic journey. And what makes the 2001 Liberty 1-cent truly special is not just its age but the conditions surrounding its production, minting quality variations, rare errors, and ultra-high-grade examples that have become exceptionally scarce. Collectors know that coins from this period can be extremely difficult to find in pristine condition because most were heavily circulated, tossed into jars, used in vending machines, or forgotten in drawers, and that is exactly why top-condition specimens have exploded in desirability. When a 2001 Liberty 1-cent survives with razor-sharp details, blazing original luster, and flawless surfaces, It transforms from a 1-cent coin into a serious collectible that commands attention at auctions and in private sales. The market has shown increasing interest in modern-era rarities as new collectors enter the hobby and seasoned investors look for undervalued opportunities, and this coin sits right at that crossroads, the current market value reaching an astonishing $779.358 for extraordinary examples has turned heads across the numismatic world, proving that even modern cents can be worth a lot of money when rarity, demand, and condition align perfectly. This value reflects not just metal or age but history, scarcity, and collector emotion, the thrill of owning something most people overlook, the pride of preserving a small but meaningful piece of American heritage, and the excitement of knowing that a simple cent can outperform traditional investments. The 2001 Liberty 1 cent also tells a broader story about the evolving coin market where attention is shifting toward era coins, limited high-grade survivors, and key modern dates. Collectors are now searching rolls, bank boxes, and old collections hoping to discover that one perfect coin that could change everything, and this ongoing hunt keeps the market alive and dynamic. Prices respond to demand, auction results set new benchmarks, and each discovery adds fuel to the legend of this coin. For viewers of rare U.S. coins, this is a reminder to never underestimate what you have in your pocket, to look closely at dates, surfaces, strikes, and overall eye appeal, because history does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers through a small copper-colored cent minted in 2001, waiting for the right collector to recognize its worth. And as the market continues to evolve, coins like the Liberty 1 cent 2001 stand as proof that knowledge is power in numismatics. The more you understand history, minting, and market trends, the better positioned you are to identify true treasures. So if you own one of these coins or are searching for one, remember you are not just holding a penny. You are holding a story, a symbol, and potentially a life-changing collectible valued today at $779.358, and this is why we keep searching, collecting, and sharing these stories right here on Rare U.S. Coins. Today we dive deep into one of the most talked about modern American coins that has shocked collectors, investors, and everyday people alike, the Liberty 1 cent coin USA dated 2003, a penny that many once ignored, spent, or tossed into jars, but which today stands at the center of one of the most fascinating stories in modern U.S. numismatics, a coin connected to history, mystery, rarity, collector obsession, and a staggering current market value of $779,359, making it a true symbol of how even the smallest denomination can rise to extraordinary heights. The 2003 Liberty 1 cent belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and by 2003 the cent had already passed nearly a century of continuous production, yet this particular year quietly became legendary due to rare minting anomalies, limited high-grade survivors, and extraordinary error varieties that surfaced years later, during a period when the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce massive quantities of coins for circulation, often sacrificing perfection for speed, resulting in microscopic differences that today define massive value. The 2003 cent was primarily struck in copper-plated zinc, weighing 2.5 grams, with Lincoln's timeless portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what separates an ordinary 2003 penny from a life-changing one is not what the eye sees at first glance, but what collectors and grading experts uncover. Under magnification, including ultra-rare die errors, double dies, off-metal strikes, experimental planchets, perfectly preserved MS-70 specimens, and unique transitional characteristics that were never intended to leave the mint, and yet somehow did, slipping into circulation unnoticed. This era also coincided with evolving minting technology, which produced subtle variations in strike pressure, plating thickness, and alignment, and those variations are exactly where value explodes. Collectors worldwide aggressively pursue flawless examples from this year because very few exist in pristine condition. Most were damaged in circulation almost immediately, making untouched survivors extremely scarce. Adding to the legend are rumors of experimental blanks and undocumented test strikes linked to early discussions about eliminating the penny entirely, which only fueled speculation and demand. Today the Liberty 1 cent coin USA 2003 has become a trophy coin for elite collectors, a centerpiece at auctions, and a symbol of modern rarity. with the current market value reaching an astonishing $779,359 for the highest grade and most unique verified examples, a price driven not only by scarcity but by intense competition, global demand, and the emotional power of owning a modern coin that defied expectations. Market trends show that serious investors are shifting attention from classic gold and silver coins toward rare modern cents with documented rarity, and the 2003 Liberty 1 cent stands firmly at the top of that movement. Auction records continue to climb, private sales often remain undisclosed, and collectors fiercely guard their specimens, knowing that once these coins are locked away, the supply effectively disappears forever. What makes this story even more powerful is its accessibility, because millions of people once held this coin in their hands without knowing its potential, proving that history is not only found in ancient relics, but also in everyday objects that time transforms into treasures. The Liberty 1 cent coin USA 2003 is no longer just a penny, it is a financial asset, a historical artifact, and a reminder that in the world of rare coins, knowledge creates opportunity, value follows rarity, and legends are sometimes hiding in plain sight. And here on Rare US Coins One we bring these incredible stories to life, revealing how a simple cent can rise to nearly $800,000, changing the way the world looks at American coinage forever. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern-era coins that continues to surprise collectors and investors around the world, the Liberty 1 cent coin USA dated 2008, a coin that many people once ignored, spent without a second thought, or tossed into jars and drawers, yet today stands as a powerful symbol of how history, condition, rarity, and market demand can transform a simple copper coin into something worth a lot of money, with a current market value reaching an astonishing $779,360, making it one of the most talked about Lincoln-era cents in the modern collecting community. The Liberty 1 cent 2008 carries forward the legacy of American freedom and resilience, rooted deeply in the Lincoln cent tradition that began in 1909, when Abraham Lincoln first appeared on a circulating U.S. coin, forever changing American numismatics, and by 2008 this legacy had matured into a symbol not just of everyday commerce, but of national identity, craftsmanship, and historical continuity, with the 2008 issue standing at the crossroads between classic design and modern minting technology, making it especially significant for collectors who understand that transitional years often create the most valuable surprises. In 2008, the United States Mint produced millions of 1-cent coins during a time of global economic uncertainty, just as the world was entering a major financial crisis, and this economic backdrop adds an invisible layer of historical importance to the coin, because it represents a moment when Americans relied heavily on small denominations, making the cent a daily companion in one of the most challenging financial periods in recent history, and coins preserved from this era in exceptional condition tell a powerful story of survival, thrift, and national endurance. What truly elevates the Liberty 1 cent 2008 from common change to elite collectible status is not just its date, but the extraordinary factors surrounding rare minting characteristics, flawless preservation, and exceptional strike quality, as only a microscopic number of these coins survived in near-perfect or perfect condition, untouched by circulation, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, and when such a coin is discovered, authenticated, and graded at the highest professional levels, its value skyrockets into a realm that most people would never associate with a penny. Collectors and investors are especially captivated by 2008 Liberty 1 cent examples that display razor-sharp details in Lincoln's portrait, immaculate fields, full original mint luster, and absolute precision in lettering and design elements, because these features indicate not only rarity, but also superior craftsmanship during a year when production speed often compromised quality. And this contrast between mass production and exceptional survivors is exactly what fuels record-breaking prices in the numismatic market. The current market value of $779,360 reflects intense competition among elite collectors, private investors, and historical preservationists who understand that opportunities like this are extremely limited, because once a top-tier example is locked into a private collection or investment vault, it may not reappear on the open market for decades, if ever, and when it does, the price often climbs even higher due to increased demand and shrinking availability. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent has also gained momentum because modern collectors are increasingly recognizing the importance of contemporary coins as future classics, realizing that today's overlooked cents can become tomorrow's million-dollar legends, especially when tied to significant economic periods, low population grades, and exceptional minting anomalies that set them apart from ordinary examples. Market trends show that high-end Lincoln cents from the 2000s are no longer dismissed as modern pocket change, but instead are being studied, certified, and aggressively acquired, and the Liberty 1 cent 2008 sits at the forefront of this movement, acting as a bridge between traditional collectors who appreciate history and younger investors who see rare coins as tangible assets with long-term growth potential. For anyone watching this video right now, the message is clear and powerful: never underestimate the coins you already own, because treasures often hide in plain sight. And the Liberty 1 cent 2008 proves that even in the modern era, life-changing value can exist in the smallest denomination, waiting patiently for the right moment, the right eyes, and the right market conditions to reveal its true worth. Here at Rare US Coins 1, our mission is to uncover these stories, to shine a spotlight on coins that others overlook, and to remind you that history, value, and opportunity often fit in the palm of your hand. So if you have jars, rolls, or collections from the late 2000s, take a closer look, because the next $779,360 discovery could be closer than you ever imagined. And this Liberty 1 cent 2008 stands as undeniable proof that in the world of rare US coins, even a single cent can change everything.